George Orwell's most bizarre work, Coming Out to Breathe and the Nostalgic Pre-War Apocalypse. George Orwell, the visionary behind prophetic dystopias like 1984 and the political satire The Revolution of the Beasts, is known for his clear prose, his biting social criticism, and his passionate defense of truth and freedom. His books warn us about the dangers of totalitarianism and the manipulation of language. But among his most well-known and impactful works, which would be more bizarre and, in a way, melancholic than George Orwell? For many, this distinction belongs to Coming Up for Air, a novel published in 1939, shortly before the outbreak of World War II. Unlike his futuristic dystopias, this book is a nostalgic and, at times, harrowing journey through the memory of an ordinary man facing imminent destruction. The story is narrated by George Bowling, a 40-something insurance salesman, obese, and disillusioned with his suburban life. He wins some extra money on a horse bet and decides to use the money to relive his childhood in Lower Binfield, the picturesque rural village where he grew up. Most of the novel is a stream of consciousness from George, comparing the idealized past with the devastating reality of the present and its growing premonitions of war and annihilation. Why Coming Up for Air is so bizarre by Orwell's standards. Oppressive and apocalyptic nostalgia. The bizarreries resides in the intense mixture of an almost suffocating nostalgia for rural pre-World War I England, with an overwhelming sense of fatality and horror that is about to come. George foresaw not just war, but the emergence of a totalitarian world, and the complete loss of freedom and the simple beauty of life. It is a personal and social apocalypse felt viscerally by an ordinary man. Focus on the desolate everyday. Although Orwell always addressed the life of the common people, here the focus is on the mediocrity and disappointment of middle-class suburban life. There are no great heroes or revolutions, only resignation and a sense of disaster. The normalcy of George's life is bizarre in its lack of purpose, contrasting with the urgency of his premonitions of war. Pre-war prophecy. The book was written at a time when the war had not yet broken out, but the shadow of fascism and totalitarianism was already looming over Europe. George's premonitions of bombings, rationing queues, and state control are eerily prophetic, turning the play into a kind of horror of impending reality, which is bizarre coming from an author known for creating dystopian worlds, not for foreseeing what was about to happen in the real world. Coming Out for Air is a melancholy and prophetic work, which reveals a more personal and pessimistic side of George Orwell. It's a bizarre reminder that horror doesn't always have to be fantastic. At times, it resides in the inevitability of history and the loss of a past that may never have been as idyllic as we imagine.